Picture this. Two kids sit in front of a marshmallow. One devours it immediately. The other waits 15 minutes and gets two. Fast forward 40 years. Guess which one's more likely to be in the 1%? What if I told you that your ability to resist checking your phone right now could predict your future net worth? Sounds crazy, right? But here's the thing. While everyone's obsessed with morning routines and productivity hacks, the ultra-wealthy have mastered something far more fundamental. And once you see what it is, you can't unsee it. Let me share something that'll make you uncomfortable. The average American checks their phone 96 times per day. We live in an economy literally designed to hijack your attention. Every notification, every limited time offer, every infinite scroll, it's all engineered to break your self-control. And here's the kicker. While you're drowning in distractions, the 1% are playing an entirely different game. Remember that marshmallow experiment I mentioned? Stanford researchers tracked those kids for decades. The ones who waited? They had higher SAT scores, better jobs, lower divorce rates, and, you guessed it, significantly more wealth. But here's what nobody talks about. It wasn't about being born with willpower. The successful kids used specific strategies. They covered their eyes. They sang songs. They created systems to beat temptation. And that's exactly what today's wealthy are doing, just on a massive scale. Think about Jeff Bezos in 1994. Everyone thought he was insane for leaving his Wall Street job to sell books online. But he had trained himself to think in decades, not days. While his peers chased quick bonuses, he was playing the longest game imaginable. Or consider Warren Buffett. The man still lives in the same house he bought in 1958. He could buy a different mansion every week, but he doesn't. Why? Because self-control isn't about deprivation. It's about knowing what actually matters. Here's where it gets interesting. Self-control compounds like interest. Every time you resist an impulse purchase, you're not just saving $50. You're building a mental muscle that gets stronger. The 1% understand this compound effect better than anyone. Let me paint you a picture. Sarah and Mike both earn $75,000 a year. Sarah invests $500 monthly starting at 25. Mike starts at 35 but invests $1,000 monthly to catch up. By retirement, Sarah has nearly double Mike's wealth. Not because she's smarter or works harder, but because she controlled her spending impulses a decade earlier. But here's the brutal truth. The system is rigged against you. Tech companies employ neuroscientists to make their apps addictive. Fast food chains use psychological pricing to trigger impulse buys. Credit card companies literally profit from your lack of self-control. The average American has $6,000 in credit card debt. Know what the average millionaire has? Zero. It's not because they're cheap. It's because they've mastered the art of delayed gratification in a world designed for instant everything. So what do the wealthy do differently? They've mastered what I call the strategic pause. Before any major decision, hell, before most minor ones, they stop. They assess. They ask, is this aligned with my long-term goals? I know a tech executive who has a 24-hour rule for any purchase over $100. Sounds simple, right? That one habit has saved him over $50,000 in the last 5 years. Money that's now generating passive income instead of collecting dust in his garage. But willpower alone isn't enough. The 1% don't rely on motivation. They design their environment for success. They automate their savings before they can touch it. They delete shopping apps from their phones. They surround themselves with people who reinforce their goals, not undermine them. Think about it. Why do wealthy neighborhoods have gyms, farmers markets, and meditation centers, while poor neighborhoods have liquor stores, fast food, and payday lenders? Environment shapes behavior, and the wealthy invest heavily in environments that support self-control. Here's what nobody tells you. Self-control is a skill stack. It's not one thing, it's dozens of micro-habits working together. The wealthy have built systems for everything. They meal prep to avoid impulsive eating. They schedule think time to avoid reactive decisions. They have no meeting Mondays to protect their deep work. Every system removes a decision. Every decision you don't have to make saves mental energy for the ones that matter. Now for the part that might sting. If you're not building wealth, it's probably not because you lack opportunities. It's because you lack the self-control to capitalize on them. Harsh? Maybe, but also liberating. Because unlike your genetics or your starting point, self-control is something you can actually develop. The question is, will you? Or will you watch this video, feel motivated for 5 minutes, then go back to scrolling? So here's your blueprint. Start with one area, just one. Maybe it's a 24-hour purchase pause. Maybe it's checking your phone only after noon. Maybe it's automating 10% of your paycheck into savings. Pick something small enough to succeed, but meaningful enough to matter. Then track it. What gets measured gets managed. The 1% are obsessed with metrics because metrics don't lie. Your feelings will tell you you're doing great, while your bank account says otherwise. Trust the numbers. Look, I can't make you implement any of this. No one can. That's the beautiful, terrifying truth about self-control. It's entirely up to you. But remember this, every billionaire was once someone who chose to wait for the second marshmallow. The only question is, what are you going to choose? The clock starts now.